everybody. Can you hear me okay? Are the levels good? Hello, Richard Lamb. How's it going? Turn on my extra light here. There we go. So, today, I don't know why it's not picking up, like, any of the details on this lady. I thought maybe adding extra light would help, but it's not. Okay, we'll turn this back off. Okay, so we are going to be working on this little lady. I don't know why it's not, like, auto-focusing that well on her. I really need to get a 4K camera, but I'm waiting for the Patreon to basically pay for it because I'm pretty broke right now, not gonna lie. Losing my second job in January basically got rid of all of my income for fun stuff. So, in the meantime, we will make do with what we have. And so this little lady is from my Mythos warband. I've been painting that recently. And what do I have finished for it so far? I have this guy done. I think he's pretty rad. Why is this so, like, not crisp? So disappointing. Anyway, I have this guy done. I could try maybe auto-focusing with this. Let's see here. Because obviously, I can't find the focus on it. So let's just turn the autofocus on and see if it... Ah, hey! It's a little bit better. Okay. So, I got this guy done. He is a golem, so he's all finito. I have done the professor. Like, I don't know why it just won't focus on anything today. Anyway, I've got the professor with his, like, spoopy fire. I've got his kitty cat, which is his familiar. He can cast spells remotely through this guy. I love how he just casually is holding a street lantern in his hand. Yeah, and he's magic. He's made from magic, so it stays lit even though it's not plugged in. Yep. And then the other one that I got finished is Kitty Page. She is a mechanic, so she's all finished too. Again, I wish that this would autofocus so you could see her. It wants to. It wants to. It just won't. Anyway, I got her finished too. So I have Abigail Halsey left, and... What blue was that? On this one? Or on this one? Blue is kind of like the overarching kind of color that I have in this warband. And then I also have Bertie as well to paint. I want to leave him for last because I'm not too sure what I want to do with him, but I'm sure what I want to do with Abigail. So I'm going to have a little... sippy. And I want to paint her dark skinned because I don't know, there's like something about her face that just like reminds me of the supermodel Iman. So I think I want to paint her a little bit darker. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna paint her a bit darker, and I want to paint her skirt one of the two blues, either this blue, second guy, this guy, or this blue. I haven't decided which blue yet. Like probably this blue? Undecided. So this blue is a mix of colors. It is, I think it's a base of dark blue, I think it's called. It's from Monument Hobbies. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, it's a mix of dark blue and dark gray blue. These two colors. For her. And then on Bro Dude, It's a mix of these two. It's a mix of contrast, Talisar blue, and a little bit of white mixed in for some highlights. So that's the other one. But yeah, I haven't quite decided which blue I want to use on Miss Abigail Halsey. I might end up doing the brighter blue and then do the darker blue on like this senior. I've got options anyway. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start mixing the skin tone for Miss Abigail. And if you were here the last time, I painted, what did I paint last time? This guy? This guy? You'll know that I like to mix my skin tones because I just think it gives it like a more lifelike kind of hue. So for the base tone for Miss Abigail, we're gonna use black brown, we're going to use a little bit of this shadow flesh, we're going to use a little bit of this yellow ochre, and a little bit of this military green. And we're going to mix these until we get something that I'm happy with. So, away we go. I just start by putting the colors in the palette and then start mixing. Yeah, and then I just start mixing. So Toasty Devil, what an amazing username. How are you doing today? I think I just got paint inside my coffee, but I'm gonna drink it anyway. What is everybody working on? If you're working on anything, even if it's just like actual work, let me know. I always like to hear what you guys are up to. If you notice that I have, that doesn't actually show up too bad here, but if you notice I have like a little spidery thing on my nose right there, I actually had a biopsy done last week. So, I got a little like stitch on my face. It looks like a little spider. So it's my little friend that I have for a few more days. Okay. So, I'm into the dark brown. I'm going to add the yellow. I just find that most skin tones end up looking like a little bit flat. I guess, like not super lifelike colors. So, I like to mix them. It's just like a habit that I've kind of gotten into. I think that that's a really nice shadow color, so we're gonna go in with this. And with this, you don't have to be particularly careful because we're gonna paint everything else around it. It's better to be thorough and make sure that all of the parts are coated. And I think when this dries, it's gonna not be dark enough. So I think I'm gonna throw maybe a purple wash on it, and then I think that'll darken it up just perfect. I'm gonna put her wearing tights, so I'm not gonna paint this little area that's in between her. Well, actually, you know what I could do is I could paint the highlights on with this color, and then I could wash it black. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Because no self-respecting woman in the 20s would be caught dead not wearing their like silk stockings. she's got gloves on. So, and I'm trying to do all of the leather kind of the same color to sort of tie the warband together. Hello, Pezler the Polychromatic. It's good to see you again as well. Candy Apple Red Blood Angel Terminators. Oh, nice. Vallejo Gloss Black Primer, Vallejo Aluminum, and All Clad Candy Red. Ooh, that sounds like it would have a lot of depth to it. Okay. Is that what I want to do on her legs? Yeah, probably. So, on her legs, I'm just going to paint basically highlights on. We're going to leave the recesses black. And we will just wash it black. And it'll just dull everything down. It'll be perfect. I'm really enjoying playing other games and sort of taking a break from 40k. I'm having a blast playing Age of Sigmar in my local group, and this Mythos game is pretty fun as well. My husband and I are going to play at game night. Normally game night's just all either like Bolt Action, Star Wars Legion, or Games Workshop games. So we're going to actually bring Mythos with us and we're going to play so everybody can see it, and then maybe we can convince some people to play with us, because it's actually quite fun, especially if you like narrative gaming. I think it's really fun. I'm just gonna go in and paint her hair black. Before I do anything else. I need to wait for that brown to dry. Every time I paint, I'm like, I'm not gonna put a bunch of paints on my desk, and then what do I end up doing? I have a collection of paint at the end of the session. It's honestly, though, it's a little bit hard when streaming because my stream setup is like right in front of my paint rack, so I can't just grab stuff. Okay, and I had my local game store didn't have my favorite black, which is the Vallejo model color black, so I'm using Army Painter, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't like it as much as the Vallejo one, but it's still pretty good. Also, I don't know why this autofocus isn't working either. It's probably time for a new camera. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can figure this out. Yeah, no, autofocus is working. Yeah, it's just not gonna focus. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be... It's weird that it has this really small, like, focus point. It never used to be like that. I don't know what happened to this camera. I hear great things about AOS, but I'm elbow deep in 40k at the moment. Yeah, for me, I was really heavily involved in 40k, and it took a lot of like soul searching to decide to take a step back. But I think it was the right judgment call for me at the time. And I had played Age of Sigmar before, so it's not like I was... Like, I didn't have to buy a whole new army to play or anything. Like, I had a mostly painted, actually, Ogre Maw Tribe army ready to go. So the investment for me wasn't that much. It was just, like, I had built pretty much my entire identity around a silly game, and then now that game wasn't fun for me anymore. So Yeah, it surprisingly took a lot of soul searching to decide that it was okay to put it down for a while. But that being said, the Imperial Guard are calling to me again, and my husband may have procured a Bane Blade for me, so there's probably going to be a big project coming up. I might do it on stream, actually, like from building it to painting it, the whole thing. I also want to make it an Octo Blade where I have all of the options available to me, so I don't think it needs to be magnetized. The turrets, I think, would probably, or not the the turrets, I think, would just like snap in. So I think okay. Hair is looking good. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. I think I am gonna go in with like the crazy bright blue on her. So I'm gonna start off with a base coat of Monument Hobbies, just regular blue. The secret is to be happy, right? Exactly. The current rumor is that the Imperial Guard Codex will be coming out in November. Well, that's my birthday month. So then we'll get probably 6 months of playing with it until 10th edition comes out. That's exciting. Hopefully it's a codex for 10th edition. If not, I will flip the table. But I do hope it comes out before November, but that does seem fairly accurate, so I have no reason to believe that that is not true. Okay, I'm gonna just go on and paint this blue all over. Maybe I should do like a contrasting stripe. Not sure what color I would do. Oh, this camera. I wish you could see how beautiful and vibrant this color is. It's absolutely stunning. Tell all your friends to support me on Patreon so I can get a 4K camera. Like, this one is supposedly full HD, but I've had nothing but problems with this particular one ever since I bought it. It's funny because the face camera is one that my friend Paul Murphy gave me, so I got that one secondhand, and it's worked perfectly ever since the day I got it. And then this one here, I bought this one with my own money, and it's been just nothing but problems. It's so bizarre. So I think it's just time. It's time to get a Brio instead, so you all can see exactly what I am actually painting. And see it in true Technicolor, because this is washed out AF. Like, even my nails are super washed out. Everything is like, so my thing is kind of vibrant colors when I paint pretty much everything except my guard. I'm all about like the bright colors, so if you're ever watching me on stream, just assume that what I'm painting is brighter than how it appears. Oh, I see there's a little piece of flashing there. And missed. There we go. staring at red all year, as you do if you play Blood Angels, right? Okay, back to the sippy sippy. Okay. Should I do a contrasting color? I kind of feel like I should. My options would be the other blue, black. She don't really want to do black. White or red. Unsure. Okay, it looks like it is dry enough to put a wash on her face, so I'm gonna go in with... if I can get it here, Druchii Violet. Looking forward to those brighter contrasts from Citadel. I only just started using contrast, and I mean, I only use it for washes, which I've heard that the washes themselves are basically a contrast, so I'll probably just end up using contrast paints more if the washes have changed. Really want to make sure that I get into the shadowy areas with this. I think I might get a second Mythos warband as well. There's another faction that basically has like faith dice, like Sisters of Battle, and they're like carnival people. So there's like a strongman, there's a clown, and the clown's really creepy, so you know that's up my alley. And then there's a knife thrower and a tarot reader and all of that, and I was like, that is so my aesthetic. So I think I'm gonna end up getting that warband at some point as well. Okay, I'm gonna be painting her shirt white, so that's gonna have to wait until basically everything else is basically dry. So since I'm gonna be putting black on her tights, I'm gonna actually mix a highlight color just a little bit, and then I'm gonna do one more layer of highlights because I'm gonna put that black wash on. So I'm just gonna hit just like the highest points. So hard for me to do this without my glasses. I don't know why I always insist on not wearing my glasses, but you think I should do a white contrast band on her skirt? I could. But her shirt's gonna be white, so that might look a little bit like uniformy, you know? She's a anthropologist. No, archaeologist is what she is. So I mean, I could just try a bunch of the different colors and see what sticks. That is something that I could do. Okay, so those highlights are a little bit brighter than what I normally would do, but then again, we are throwing a wash on there, so... Yeah, that looks good. Might actually do 2 washes of this. Don't have to be too careful because I'm going to be painting that contrasting band on that skirt something else. Have to be too clean. You have to do a clean application. Okay. Okay. Now the fun part of waiting for a bunch of stuff to dry. Can I paint anything else while I wait here? I could paint some highlights on her hair. Yeah, we could do that. Okay. Still a little wet underneath, but that is parts I'm gonna want to be shaded anyway, so this will be fun as well doing this without my glasses on stream, because I can't like get my face down close enough to the mini to actually like see what I'm doing, so just start painting a little bit of highlights on the top. See how we go here. I actually find it really difficult to paint hair. Because I'm actually a terrible dry brusher, and I feel like hair and fur really take to dry brushing really well. And I'm just real not good at it. Real not good. I also apologize if you can hear my neighbor mowing his grass. I would have thought it'd be way too warm outside right now to do that, but there's always got to be that one guy, I suppose. Man, how's it going, Jude? I've been trying out the Army Painter speed paints on the Cursed City Heroes. Ooh, I feel like they would take really well to that, Richard. Hello, Hydra Queen, how's it going? It's one of my own weaknesses. I hate waiting for stuff to dry. Yes. Yes. Do you have, use, or like the speed paints? I don't have any of the speed paints. I wouldn't be opposed to trying them out, but nobody around me locally has them. And if I just want to buy 1 or 2, I feel like that's really expensive shipping to just buy a couple to try. But yeah, I'm not opposed. I don't really use a lot of that kind of style of paint. I just recently started using contrast paints as wash, but use them as intended. I don't use them as intended, really. I don't use them as a base coat or anything, so I wouldn't be the and that's not because I don't think that they're really useful for that. It's just I've developed style, I guess, and they don't really fit into my style of painting, if that makes sense. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to trying them, but I don't think that my opinion of how they work is really like valuable to people who use them as intended, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to get my point across. What's up, Jude? How's it going? I just bought all my minis and got all my supplies ready. Ooh, Hydra Queen, nice. Is this, as in you're just jumping into the hobby for the first time, or just a new project? What's going on? I would love to know more. I always find highlighting black very difficult because you still want it to look black, so you don't want to do too much, but you do want to create depth. It's like a fine line to walk. I'm super concentrating right now. Okay. It's too much to paint. Okay. Grass mowing ASMR. Pretty much. I finished painting up an additional 6 beast nagas that I can add to the 2 I have painted. Congratulations. I really enjoy painting those models. I feel like they have a lot of stuff on them, like a lot of different stuff. They've got armor, and like hides and stuff. It's pretty cool. This is my first time, and I decided to dip a toe in 40k stuff, which has a cool aesthetic. Yes, it does. Instead of the normal Necron army, I decided to grab mostly canoptic models. Very cool. I think still that canoptic wraiths are like one of my favorite Necron models. They just look like something out of the Matrix, and I really like that. Okay. I do. Oh, see, this is the trouble with painting black. It's like you want to do more, but sometimes you just end up putting too much on, and then it doesn't look black anymore. So I actually think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay. We'll just do this. And it's fine. We're just going to call that done. So that's just black and a little bit of this ochre yellow mixed in. I mixed my highlights with like what I have around and already on the palette. So yeah, so that's black and yellow ochre to do the highlights on there, and ended up looking like kind of a brownish color, which works for me. Okay, what do we have that is dry enough? My wash is still drying on the lady up top because I kind of crammed it in here pretty hard, but I think I'm going to go in with the contrast and put the wash on her skirt. And you do have to shake contrast fairly well. I really like the wraiths, but I also have scarabs, a spider, a cryptek, and some cryptothralls. Oh, cryptothralls are so creepy too. I do like the more creepy and lived-in aesthetic of the newer models. Are you gonna do like the traditional kind of silver and green, or were you gonna be like me and go off the box art? Because apparently I just can't ever paint box art. That's not true. I did paint box art for one of my first armies. I don't know where this guy's backpack went, but I painted basically box art for my, this is from my first of my Space Wolves. Oh man, his face is so funny. Do you ever just go back and look at your old models and you're like, man, I could do so much better now? I mean, they're not bad for one of my first armies, but like his face is so janky. Like, what happened to his nose, you guys? What happened to his nose? He's got no nose. Okay. Probably too much. Okay. And again, because we haven't really painted too much around it, you don't have to be particularly careful when doing this. Just really want to slap it on there. And because we're using it as a wash and not a base coat, it doesn't even have to be as careful as you would if you were just using it as a base coat. But you do still kind of want to work pretty fast to avoid like pooling in weird places, if that's something that you're concerned about. My particular paint style has got pretty high contrast in it, so big giant pools are not, it's not that big of a deal to me if it happens, so perfect. So now we'll let that dry, which takes forever. It's actually my husband's contrast paint, so I'm not supposed to put it back into my paint collection. I'm probably going to end up doing it though. Okay, it has been so dry here. I live in a desert, and normally it sort of like dries out slowly over time. But it's also a La Nina year, so we've had a lot more rain than usual, and then like all of a sudden 5 days ago it just like all dried up and now it's back to a desert again. Good afternoon, Gear Guts. My boss is in the house. How's it going, Kyle? Okay. What can I do now while I still wait for those two things to dry? Because I don't want to move on to her top because I'm going to paint that white. I don't want to move on to that until all of the wash is dry, because as soon as I hit anything on there, it's just going to bleed into the white, and it's not going to be good. It will be no bueno. The wash on her skin is almost dry though, so I think I'll just because put a metallic on the head of her pickaxe is I think what I'll do. I'm gonna use my absolute favorite, which is Iron Warriors. Ooh, we got a bot, people. That means I gotta go way over here. Actually, Kyle, can I make you a moderator? That's something that I could do. Let's see here. Out and add moderator. Doing well, though the household has COVID in it, so not doing any group activities till it's gone. That is the reasonable thing to do, I think. I think. I thankfully we've only had COVID for sure in our house once, I'm pretty sure that I got it before it was an actual thing. Like the end of the November before it was announced in the January, so thankfully I never really got it during the height of everything going on. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this silver base coat on. Yeah, I might actually run this stream a little longer because I am taking the rest of the day off. Just because I did a lot of stuff this week, and I just want to do a bit of relaxing. I might do a little bit of recording or editing, one or the other. But yeah, I'm gonna take most of the day off to relax. It's also supposed to be really hot today, so, and I don't have the best air conditioning in here, so if it gets really hot, it's gonna be not pleasant to work in, but giving myself options. I'm also planning a Necromunda campaign. I basically rewrote the rulebook so that it made sense to find stuff as you're playing. So I finished that, and now I'm gonna actually work on my Necromunda campaign, which I'm pretty excited about, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna do like a Dominion campaign where you fight over like territories, but I don't think we're going to do it like as intense as a traditional Dominion campaign. I think I'm going to simplify it because a lot of people have never played Necromunda before. So I think we'll just do some like bare minimum. Aw, thank you so much for the subscription, Warble Beast. Hey, I finally made it to one. Well, thank you for joining in. Evaded by Slanesh bots. That's how you know you've made it, Toasty Devil. I wonder if your boss is okay with a day off. Wait, I'm the boss, and yeah? I want to do a D&D campaign set on a generational ship in space. So it would be like sci-fi? Like a sci-fi D&D campaign? And you know what? I would be so into that. You're like one of my favorite dungeon masters ever, Kyle. Okay, I'm gonna get quiet for a second as I paint these teeny tiny eyeballs. I might have to take it off the screen too, just because these models are quite tiny. It doesn't matter too much at this point with the way that I do eyes, that they be perfect also. They just, because we're gonna clean them up. Her face is just so delicate. And I'm used to painting GW stuff, which is not super delicate. GW stuff is actually quite forgiving, I think. In the paint aspect. I mean, they have a lot of doodads and thingamajigs, but everything is quite like large. Like hands are large, faces are large, facial features are large. They're quite forgiving in that way. Okay, so she's got big glowing bright white eyes, which is fine. It'll all come together in the end, I promise. Pseudo sci-fi, I like the idea of how no one remembers they are on a ship, so you have knights and feudal systems established within a ship that they don't know is a ship. Huh. Interesting. I'm into it. If you're gonna play online, call me. I got this cool idea for the canoptic models that will be painted tan or desert, but the claws will be a silvery color to add to the illusion of the claws having rubbed off the dust and sand. Ooh, so you could use like a bunch of weathering powders and stuff to get there? To get that kind of look? I enjoy pigment powders for basing and stuff, and I used, oh, that was way too much black. Dang it! Dang it! I have to try that again. And I used it on this guy. I don't know if did I ever show you guys the finished what did I do here? Oh, here we are. Did I ever show you the finished Alpha Legion that I started on a stream? I wish it would autofocus. It just won't autofocus. So I used the pigment powders on the base here, and then I just put a little bit like in his like recesses and stuff. But yeah, so I enjoy pigment powders for that. Yeah, it actually turned out pretty good. I wish that I had the desire to paint more Marines, because I do think having an Alpha Legion army would be super cool. I don't have the will to do it, people. I'm sorry. Although I do have more of these. I printed the whole kit of Gear Guts. So I think I might try to do another one as Space Wolves and see if that's fun. I keep wanting like power armor to be fun, and it just keeps not being fun. So I might end up painting one of like many different types of legions, but we'll see. But that's how that guy turned out. Okay, let's try this eyeball again. Also, my brush is pretty ratchet, so it may not work with this brush. We'll see. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Will she look cross-eyed? I mean, they always kind of look googly-eyed until I'm done, so... There, she's got some pupils. Glad I could check out the stream, but I have to go do boring adult stuff now. Aw, well, thank you so much for dropping in, Toasty Devil. I really appreciate having you here. And I hope that your boring adult stuff is not too boring. Or if it is, that you can get it done really fast. I did all my boring adult stuff last night, so that I don't have to do nothing today. Except stuff I want to do. Okay, so now I'm going to go back on with the base coat on her face. I'm going to clean up her eyeballs. Because I'm going to have to do this up close off the camera, because I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry, everybody. Please don't be mad at me. I like legitimately have a reason to not wear my glasses today, though. Whereas normally I'm just like, tee-hee, I forgot. But like, actually my glasses really bug the stitches on my nose. Oh, I think I just messed that up. I think I can fix it though. Goodness. I might have to get another brush, actually, from my stash. This one's just... You know, we've had an understanding for so long, me and this brush, but I think that it's forgotten about our agreement. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup on her eyeballs. So I got boring adult stuff all week, but I get to go to painting class on Friday with a friend. I'm gonna drink some wine and paint a beach. That sounds amazing. I did a painting thingy with my mom once, and it was really fun. And I painted it was like a lake scene that they had us do, and then I gave it to my mother-in-law because she really liked it. And now it's hanging up in my mother-in-law's house. Oh my goodness, this brush. Ugh. Do I open a new brush? Or do I stick it out? Do I be stubborn and stick it out? I'm gonna try and stick it out. She actually has like little eyelids, and it's kind of tripping me out. Okay. How's the healing going? I mean, it's going pretty good. It's like at the itchy stage right now, so it's really red because it's healing quite well, and the stitch needs to come out. So it comes out on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to it. Whenever I have these biopsies done, it's always the stitches after that just drive me insane. And I just always look forward to getting them out. I just want them out. Okay, can I accept these eyeballs? Oh, this one needs more work. This one needs more work. Are you having a brush stash? I mean, I have a brush stash. S-T-A-S-H. I have a mustache. It's just really fine, so you can't see it on camera. Stubbornness leads to suffering. Suffering leads to the grim dark side. So keep suffering then. What is the healing from? I had a biopsy done on my nose. You can sort of see my little spider friend right here. It's a stitch. I get them done probably far too often, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Mine is still out at the lab, so I don't know what exactly it is that we cut out of my face this time. But yeah, if something doesn't like look or feel right, make sure that you go to your doctor and get it checked out, because I might have to start this eye all over again. Bummer. Because incidents of skin cancer are on the rise, so don't mess around. I think I'm just gonna have to redo this eyeball. That's sad. Okay, we try again. Try again. Yeah, these eyelids. There's eyelids on this model, and it's like tripping me out. How do I paint it? I'm so like trained to GW models. Oh. Oh, great and powerful Warmistress. Ooh, should I sell my Trader Guard and just play my AOS demon stuff? May your paints remain ever fluid and not cottage cheesy. Yes, don't ever buy Corax White. Or Ceramite White. Or basically any GW White. Don't do it. I guess that's, like, not an easy question to answer, right? Does painting the models give you enjoyment? Because if they're unpainted, but painting them would bring you enjoyment, I would say keep them. If painting them doesn't give you enjoyment, then sell them. If they're already painted and you're not enjoying playing them now, and you wouldn't enjoy playing them later, then you should probably sell them. But if there's a chance that you would play them and have fun with them, then you should keep them. I'm gonna be an adult today and get McDonald's for dinner because I'm allowed to make terrible choices. Oh, Kyle. Go enjoy your McDonald's. I had McDonald's the other day and, like, immediately regretted it, so may your stomach be of iron. Because I just get instant heartburn. Okay. Also, my body hurts, so let's do a little stretch. Also, I have so much stuff around me for recording. Extra lights. I've got a pop screen, like a pop filter. So much stuff. Chicken nuggets. That's what I wanted too. I was like, ooh, chicken nuggets would be so good. And then I just instantly got heartburn, and they were not as good as I remembered. Currently using Corax White right now. Yeah, I hope that it works for you, because it does not work for me. I open up a new one, and then it's fine, and then I shut it real well, and I go to use it again, and it's like instant cottage cheese. I'm like, oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so we're gonna do take 2 on this eye. Again, I'm gonna bring it up so I can do this pupil, because that's the hard part. Okay, I can accept that. I like McDonald's, but my bum doesn't. Same. They are one of the foods that is only edible while hot. Oof. It's like Coca-Cola is only drinkable while it's cold. Yeah, it's like as soon as I turned 30, it's like I couldn't eat everything that I wanted to. Like, and no word of a lie, I get heartburn just driving past KFC. Like, not even thinking about eating there, but like the smell of KFC, my brain just automatically goes into like purge. And it's like instant heartburn. It's actually quite funny. Okay, because I messed up this eye last time, I'm going to paint it right friggin' close to my face. And I'm gonna see if I can actually not wreck it this time. What would you say has been one of your favorite models painted yet? Oh, that's a tough question. My paint is too runny now. Dang it. I think it's hard to just pick one model because I get the most enjoyment out of seeing an entire army all at once, which is why a lot of my stuff is just like on display here. I'm not sure, honestly. I do enjoy like my Tyrant that I painted for my Ogre Maw tribes. I don't know why, it's not my best paint job, but I just really enjoy it. It brings me a lot of joy. I'm really proud of my Scions. I really like the paint scheme that I figured out for my Scions. But that's not like one singular model, that's like 12 models. But yeah, I really enjoy these guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could pick just like one model. I'm glad that during the last big game we only had to get McDonald's once. The rest of the trip was going, oh, the food is too much. It was too much food. Kyle, it was too much. Lately I've been unable to eat any of the trash food, but I also lack actual food, so I'm stuck in limbo. Oh no, that sucks. Like when I do have takeout, it's usually from local restaurants. I mean, we got pizza yesterday, but so it'll usually be from like little mom and pop restaurants. I think that's as good as this eyeball is gonna get. Is that as good as it's gonna get? I think so. You can't even tell. I'm so sad that this just won't autofocus. What do you think of the Leagues of Votan? Okay, I don't actually like to yuck people's yum. So I haven't really been talking a lot about the Leagues of Votan, but I think that they don't look like a Warhammer 40k army. I think that the lore is just recycled Space Marines and Tau, and I don't know, the aesthetic to me just feels like it fits more into like Infinity more than 40k. So I guess what I could say is like I'm kind of confused by it a little bit. You also got weed gummies and then Red Lobster buns. That was clearly a good day. That was a good day. You wrapped me up like a burrito and put Futurama on for me, so I mean, best boss points right there. I did feel very good after that, after feeling like poop the day before. Okay, so I think that that's gonna have to just be kind of good enough for her eyes, since I'm not entirely sure how to work with these. Oh, I'm gonna do a little bit. Okay, I'm nitpicking now, but I just don't know how to work with these eyelids. Just gonna do a little bit. Okay, good. Just leave it, Tanya, before you mess it up. Okay, I'm gonna go on and paint a few more highlights. I will say that I think painting things other than Games Workshop models is a really good learning experience. I'm having some fun with them anyway. Okay. But I think these models are really pretty. I really, really want that other faction too, because I had so much fun painting these. And you know what? I'm just gonna like real talk y'all a little bit. It's actually kind of disappointing that like posts of painted miniatures aren't doing as well on social media as they used to. And it's mostly because of the algorithm that pushes how to explain it, but the algorithm basically like pushes different content, and so like less people are seeing the painted miniatures on social media. It's probably still okay on Twitter, but on Instagram it's just a little bit sad, I think. But I've been doing a lot of soul searching because I used to think like I really, really wanted to be like a content creator. And I think I just want to do my own thing. I think that there's a lot of like pressure in content creation to like act a certain way and sort of be a certain way, and I really just want to be myself and not have a lot of that expectation. It was just really sad for me, I think the last time I was on Play on Tabletop, that, you know, I had worked, you know, fairly hard on making my army and learning how to play it. It was like a brand new army for me, and it was actually kind of a fluffy list that I'd brought, so I had to learn how to pilot it and not really rely on like the busted custodies rules and whatnot. And I don't know, like the comment section just was really not super nice. And I was like, okay. Like basically some people were saying that I didn't win hard enough and all of this. I was like, oh dear. And yeah, part of me thought like maybe if I was just like a regular person like not a woman, like maybe people would have been a little bit more kind to me. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe it's just a cesspit, I don't know, but it just sort of made me think like I can't really make people happy, so I might as well make myself happy. So because I was putting like a lot of effort into learning how to play Warhammer 40k and like how to get good, because I thought, you know, maybe if I, you know, get good at the game, maybe people will be accepting of me, or at least give me a little bit more respect, and that didn't happen. So I was like, okay. Okay, that's not gonna happen, so I'm just gonna do what I want. And part of that is things other than Games Workshop stuff, so hence why we're playing and painting Mythos right now. I didn't win hard enough, you guys. I don't know, it's just so fun. It's just so funny, like, when I stop to think about, like, the internet comment section, like, you didn't win hard enough. Okay, sure. It's a good palette cleanser as well, to not need to paint the skulls, or trip perpetually, or to practice with lots of cloth, and I actually really like painting Dungeons and Dragons minis. So like a variety of stuff on them. Just searched crypto thralls for reference, and the top 5 results are very not safe for work models of alien ladies with their tits out. This hobby is both kind of gross and highly predictable. Yep, and my friends who paint mostly Dungeons and Dragons and board game stuff, they are always appalled at the difference in comments on the work of theirs of Warhammer 40k stuff. It is definitely a problem in Warhammer 40k, like misogyny is definitely a problem still. And I'm not saying that every person who plays Warhammer 40k has this problem, but it is just more, like, there are more instances of misogynistic people per capita in Warhammer 40k than there are in Dungeons and Dragons or board games. So yeah, it can be a little sad for me at times. Though I guess that's every online community. It is, but it's particularly bad in Warhammer. People tend to forget that the hobby isn't exclusive to the Get Good crowd that is a hobby of creation of art, and for a huge population, the game itself is secondary. Yes, I enjoy playing the game, and playing the game is the biggest motivator for me to painting models. Like, the idea of me painting models that I'm never gonna play with, it just, like, hurts me. It's like, I still have this waiting to be finished, and I haven't finished it because I'm not gonna play with it. I should really finish it. So yeah, I have to finish her. I'm gonna finish her one day. One day I'll finish her. Get her off my desk. A vast majority of hobbyists don't play that many games, like maybe once a month, or less, or never. Fuck the haters, you ascended beyond the petulant whack player, took the army of a narrative peasant, and ruled anyway. This is gigantic brain. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I also gave my list to my opponent and said, look, I'm playing Custodes and people don't like playing Custodes, so here's my list and you can tailor your army to it. But this is legitimately, I made this list based off this is what I could get painted before game day. So this is the list. I'm not changing it. And yeah, and that was the other thing. Some people were like, oh, her opponent brought a soft list for her. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. I just can't win. And like, even if he did, how is that my problem? How is that a criticism of me? Right? Shouldn't that be a criticism of him? He didn't, by the way. But shouldn't that, like, not be my issue? You know? I'm not sure if I'm liking how I'm doing these highlights. I feel like they're just very stark. What do I do? What do I do? That's like the hard thing about painting these minis. They're not like heroic scale, so it's hard to determine like how much to do for highlights because you don't want to overpower the features. Do you want to put a little like ink on her cheeks maybe? Let's see here. Let's put a little pink on there, see what happens. See if I can glaze it on to the darker color. It'll show up. the community needs people playing for fun, and showing that is a viable way to play. I agree. While also painting awesome models. I agree, Mark. I I need to just like do my thing and let the comment section haters just hate, because they're gonna hate anyway, no matter what I do. Hail Hydra, enjoy your nom-noms. Time to write a D&D campaign that features a steampunk villainess. That sounds fun. I wouldn't mind playing it. Like, all the models I got are a functional 25 power level list, but I don't currently know any non-gross peeps who also play, and I prefer the painting aspect. If you have 25 power level, I would definitely look into doing Crusade to start, because usually the people who play Crusade are like chill AF, and yeah, are not really going to tell you that how you're playing is wrong, because they're in it for the narrative anyway. Ever since my friend's friendly local game store closed last year, it's been hard to find motivation to paint. Started on my Indominus captain last year, just picked him back up and started painting with you right now. Oh, I'm glad that you're returning to him. He deserves to have paint on him. And I do enjoy painting. Like, I have Space Wolves, and I don't ever plan on painting them. But I'm starting to feel the pull to return to them and do like Primaris stuff. So, and maybe like now that I've sort of relaxed around the idea of playing, it might be easier to just paint stuff just for the joy of painting it. Yeah, this pink doesn't really show up when I glaze it on. Keep trying, though. Keep trying. Does she have teeth? She does have teeth showing. Okay, we'll have to put some teethies in there. I've learned to ignore any feedback except for the constructive kind. I've found that some people are going to hate purely to want you to feel bad in order to not feel crap about themselves. Also, do you find that the people who give unsolicited advice and not constructive advice, do you find that they usually never post their own stuff? Because that's what I find, and it really bothers me. Like, if you're gonna critique somebody, especially without them asking, like, you better post your own stuff so that they can return the favor. You know what I mean? Since my list isn't just an avalanche of warriors and an overlord, so a narrative-focused thing might be neat. It's like a little bit of bookkeeping, which it can be a little daunting at first, but you sort of get the hang of it as it progresses, and it allows you to slowly add stuff to your list as well. So if you're just building up your first force, it's a good way to learn how to play. It's a good way to play with a core and then sort of figure out what you think you're missing. I really enjoy Crusade, so something to consider. don't know why I'm so, like, going so hard on her face right now. It's, apparently just grabbed my attention here, so might as well finish it up. I found that people like that are under the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yes. Yes. Also, a lot of people who give the really nasty advice on how I play in the comment section, a lot of times I end up thinking, like, do you even play this game? Like, I feel like if you played, especially at any sort of higher level, you wouldn't be saying these things. I'd agree, Crusade is a great way to start into the hobby for new armies. I've really enjoyed the games I've played with my orcs, though we'll say a single model is carrying my entire Crusade. Is that like your beast boss? Did you juice him up? I suppose you're just winding down, aren't you? I'm gonna go until my dog comes to tell me that it's time to go out. So, he's currently sleeping, so no plans to shut it down yet. I'm just like going super hard into this really tiny little face. I guess I decided that that was what I wanted to do today. Okay, I'm gonna like leave her face there because if I do too much, I'm just gonna mess it up. But I am going to throw a little bit of white onto her teeth, but I don't want it to be like perfectly white, so I'm gonna mix a bit of white with a little bit of this brown that's on here, just because teeth aren't like friggin' bright white, you know what I mean? Like they've got... That just like looks weird. I mean, her eyes are bright white too, so... But I did end up sort of basically washing the brown into them, so... Okay, I have to do this off stream as well because this is really tiny, so... And I did make a mistake. Of course I did. That's what I do. We got just a hint of teeth. I wish that this camera would autofocus. I'm sorry that it's so messed up. I'm gonna use the Patreon money to get a 4K camera for streaming though. Once we get there, I'm gonna buy one. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the highlights on her skirt. He is a monster. The last game I played against Skari, that Squigosaur riding boss ate his army, like killed 6 units in 2 turns. Yum, yum. She's being very picky about this model. Thanks, Mark. Thanks. I'm glad I remembered before you were done. I'm glad that you remember it too, Zan, because it's just not the same without you here. Okay. So, just gonna go in and paint in some highlights. I love that I just always insist on using these old ratty ass brushes as well. But we have an understanding. You know, you have to like break in a new brush. Also, I got brushes at Home Depot. I haven't used them yet, but I found these. They're white Taklon. And I thought that they looked really interesting. They were $12 for 3. So one day I will use these, but they're white Taklon and like they look like they have a pretty cool point. So one day I will try these and let you all know if these Home Depot brushes are acceptable. And y'all know I'm not a big fan of sable. A lot of the sable we don't really know where it comes from, or it comes out of Russia and we don't know how the animals are taken care of. So, and I don't like sable because it's floppy and it doesn't I like to glaze a lot and it just doesn't really hold the water the way that I like in my synthetic brushes. So I'm going to try those at some point once I accept that this brush is pooched. And I'll let you know if the $4 brushes are amazing. Going to try using Holy White on the shoulder pad, though so far I haven't been impressed with the Army Painter speed paints. Is it a white speed paint? Is that what it is? Holy White? I do find that I think Army Painter has the best pastel colors. I really, really like their pastel colors, but they're sort of more pigmented, deeper colors are not usually my favorite, but I haven't used the speed paint line, so not sure. Maybe once I get a 4K camera, I can turn this camera into a doggo cam. Because he quite often sleeps behind me while I'm painting, or working, or doing anything at this computer. Which is good, because if he annoyed me the entire time, like he does when I'm downstairs, oof, we'd be in trouble. Not get anything done. Holy White is a rather subtle gray in the recesses. Okay, so it is kind of like a white. Okay. Is it sort of like the Citadel Apothecary White? Yeah, I'm actually really interested in trying those. I have a couple of Stormcast Eternals characters that my beautiful friend Tom, the Sad and Lonely Gamer, has gifted me. And I want to try and paint one white and see how it works out. And I was thinking about trying either the new shade that they have for white or one of the contrast paints. So I don't know why I just like inspired to paint these guys white, but I want to do one white and one gold and see which one I think looks better. Because I've pretty much decided if I wanted to have one of every sort of Grand Alliance for Age of Sigmar, that order would be Stormcast. But it's something that I could slowly build up a force over time. Also, because Stormcast, you can find used models like super easy, since they're in a lot of the starter boxes. So yeah, I'm gonna do like a couple test schemes essentially and see which one I like the best. Which one's gonna look best on the table? Apothecary White has more blue in it. In the test that I've done, Speed Paints reactivates easily. I found that I need to use spray varnish rather than brush on. Interesting. It activates with water? Or with paint? Or both? That's really interesting. I mean, Army Painter is not really, like, they haven't really built their brand on building up layers, right? Like, their whole brand was like, you paint on the base coat, and then you dunk it in wash, and then it's good to go. But yeah, that's still a little bit concerning if it reactivates. So I am one of the judges in a little painting competition on the Play on Tabletop Discord, and I'm like the worst judge ever because I can find like amazingly good things in everybody's work, and I generally don't like to like pick people's work apart unless they really want it and they ask me to, and even then I don't think I'm particularly great at that. So I'm excited to try something new. I'm excited to give it a go. But yeah, like a little bit scared too that I'm not gonna be able to give people the kind of feedback that they want. I'm also like that person who's like, yeah, but like I'm not the best painter. Who am I to really offer any critique to anybody? You know, it's kind of the way that I think about it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so far, some of the entries are absolutely beautiful. Like, somebody painted up Sanguinius for it. I'm kind of interested to see what everybody comes up with, because I think it'll be super cool to see everybody's painting, and I guess to look at everybody else's painting in a more critical way is a skill you probably have to train. It reactivates with both, and it rubs off easier than contrast. Weird! Having to head out. We'll be back in 30 minutes or so. Enjoy your McDonald's, Kyle. Just rank them by who has the most amazing things. Yeah? Is that fair, though? And here's the other thing. I tend to rank painting based off things like who has the most creative paint job, or who took the most chances. Like, that's something I like to like factor into, like whether or not I think that that's like a better or worse paint job. Like, okay, yeah, that's a better paint job, but they played it super safe, you know, like yes, that's technically better executed, but they just did the box art, for example, right? Like, that's something that I factor into it, and I don't know if that's something that other people factor into their judging, or if they just look at it um, like no, I just judge it based off like who has the most skill. Like, I'm not too sure. It's not something I do often, right? So, but yeah, I am excited to like try and develop a new skill. And Tack from Play on Tabletop is like an actual artist and a creative director, so I'm sure he'll give us some guidance on how to approach it. Like, it's 20 to 1 and this dog hasn't woken me up to take him for a walk. Like, what the heck? Why is he such a sleepy boy? Am I gonna have to wake him up? It's good to consider the concept as well, not just the execution, right? Like, I like to think of what we do as an art form. You know, maybe a lot of it is a bit more paint by numbers, and some people are better at that than others, but at the same time, like, I really would like to give like kudos where people have taken chances, you know, or people who do have a creative kind of vision, I guess, for lack of better words, of what they're trying to accomplish. Like, I think that should be celebrated too. Okay, I think I'm okay with that skirt. I think it matches pretty close to Buddy's skirt. Should I just do the same skirt as him and do like a red swatch on the bottom of it? Because I do think it looks pretty good. I think I will. She needs a little bit of red on her, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that contrast band red on the bottom. What I'm gonna do before I go, because I think I am gonna have to get this dog up and going. I'm gonna put the base coat that I use for white down, which is this one. It is bright neutral gray, and this ends up being a lot of the shadowy color for the white that I'm gonna throw down. So I'm just gonna paint this on. And then we'll see how that looks. And this I have to be pretty careful with because she's pretty dark, so it'll show up really bad if I end up like nicking her skin or anything. This gray is very watery. I don't know if it's just the one that I got or if it's the paint itself, but normally this does take a few layers, and I don't actually mind that because lighter kind of pastels, light grays, things like that tend to look a little chalky if you put it on too thick, so I don't mind that it comes out pretty thin straight out of the bottle. Don't want to get it on the blue either. That red is a great complement to the blue. I thought so too, right? Because if it's all just blue, I was like, it's kind of boring. So yeah, I thought that it would be cool to do a little bit of red, and there's a little bit of red on like everybody. So yeah. Again, like I'm trying to make a not uniform, but like a unifying kind of color scheme so everybody can be dressed how they want, but they still kind of look like they belong together. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. Okay, take a deep breath. Do you mind me asking if you consider yourself LGBTQ friendly? Since I've just started watching you, I don't have a good enough vibe from you to guess on that sort of thing. I mean, it's a good question. I would say that I am very LGBTQ friendly. I myself am not LGBTQ, but many of my friends are, and I don't think that I've ever thought twice about somebody who is different than me in some way. I don't know. We're all just people out here being nerds and enjoying our time on this planet together, and yeah. We're very LGBTQ friendly, I would say. Yeah, Xanthiades, I feel like if they could see the Patreon Discord meme channel, yeah, we're all very supportive of one another and of everybody's journey towards happiness. So yeah, but I myself am straight and cisgender, and so I can't really speak to anybody else's experience except that I try to empathize as much as possible through my limited experience of living in an LGBTQ kind of lifestyle. So that's nice to know. Yeah. Everybody is welcome here. Like the whole point of my YouTube show Be Nice Roll Dice is to just like be nice to people no matter what. I came here for Sleepy. Aw, Antonio. How are you doing? There's a lot of queer content in the memes channel. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of great queer content in the memes channel. Honestly, like I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is check the memes channel, because I feel like if you're starting off your day with a bunch of really wholesome memes, I feel like it's gonna be a good day. That's gonna be a good day. Okay, back to painting this on and pooping my pants a little bit as I almost get this white color on this completed skin tone. Okay. Oh man, I can't even express to you how much anxiety I have about getting this color on her skin. I was like, you know what's going to be a really great contrast to her beautiful dark skin is a nice white shirt. And now I'm like kind of regretting this decision, but I'm committed, so let's go. I regret. I regret. Why couldn't you just painted her shirt red, Tanya? But no. Oh my god, I'm shaking so bad, you guys. Okay. I almost have one sleeve done. Oh gosh. I am holding my breath so bad. Okay. Hey James, how's it going? Okay, I've got one sleeve done next to her skin. This is so nerve-wracking. I mean, done with the base coat. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, but I do think that this white shirt's gonna look real good. It's gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. And this backpack has so many, like, little pockets and things in it. Because I was gonna paint in here the white, but, like, I think she's got a hatchet or something here. I'm gonna have to look off stream real close at it before I go ahead and do any highlights or anything on this. Because I don't want to continue on and then find out that I missed a spot. On her character card, they painted her white. But they painted everybody in this warband white, and I just don't like the look of that on the table. Like, I feel like people would have a variation in skin tone, you know? And like I said at the beginning, I don't know, something about her face just like reminded me of Iman. I think because it's like a sort of more oval kind of face. So that was my inspiration. Iman is such a gorgeous lady. She's my muse for this mini. Does anybody else ever like look at a miniature and just get inspired by something non-miniature related? Because for my entire Night Haunt army, I was inspired by album artwork. And I don't know, I just like to get inspiration from all sorts of weird places. Like my Custodes, for example, I was inspired to paint them that color because of two lichens that I saw just hanging out on a rock, and one was like a burnt red and the other one was like a seafoam green, and I was like, y'all look great together. I want to put this on a miniature someday. Just joined your Patreon, by the way. Oh, thank you. That's why I asked that question out of the blue. I like knowing the people I support are supportive people. Well, I appreciate you supporting me, and everybody in the Discord is super wonderful, supportive. We do have LGBTQ folks in there already, so you know, feel free to post supportive, uplifting LGBTQ content if you like as well. I'm really proud of the little space that we have created in the Discord. It's very wholesome, and I don't know, everybody's just super lovely. I don't know why I expected any different, but it's just really, really nice. And whenever I feel down or, you know, unsure, I guess, of what to do, I know that I can turn to my Discord for advice and support, and yeah, I'm just super thankful every day for the little community there. Because sometimes the comment sections and my DMs are not the most wholesome. So, oh no, I got white on her hair. Bad, Tanya. Bad. I'm gonna have to fix that after. Or maybe I give her a little gray stripe. That's an option too. I mean, if you've been fighting the minions of the old ones for years, you probably have some gray hairs. I need to get back to my Carcharodon sometime. I'm painting them with schemes inspired by different species of sharks. I can understand expecting different. It's easy to expect we can't have nice things. Right? Like, I wish I wasn't so jaded. I think it was like many years working at the pawn shop that just made me see some of the worst of what humanity has to offer. Like, I took a lot of abuse at that job from customers. It's been, I guess, about 6 months since I lost that job, though, and while I do miss the, I miss the extra income, I don't miss the job itself. I also miss my friends. right? Like, I basically worked with some of my best friends there, and I do miss them very much, but, do not miss the job, that's for sure. I have returned with unhealthy foods. Enjoy your nugs, Kyle. But the real question is, did you get a milkshake to dunk them into? Because that's my jam. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just go all in and dunk my nugs in strawberry milkshake. I'm holding my breath so bad while I paint this lady right now. Oh, she's got like a little, like the top, like the neckline of her top is really interesting, and I actually have anxiety about painting it. Okay, finish up this sleeve. Okay. I can accept that. Now to work on this a little bit. I did get a milkshake, but not for dunking. Have you tried it, though? Yeah, but, like, have you tried it? Oh gosh, I have so much anxiety about this. Okay. Focus. Okay. Okay. I think... Oh! Dang it, I did touch her hair. Okay, I think I fixed it. At least good enough for now. I have not, but chocolate and chicken just seems wrong. In Mexican cooking, they actually use a lot of chocolate in savory kind of dishes. Haven't you ever heard of chicken mole? Exactly. I think originally it was like less of a sweet dish. Or ingredient, I should say. I mean, for me, chocolate can be a dish, but... Expand your horizons! Do the dunk. Okay, dog is awake. He has not bothered me, but I know he's going to at any point. But I'm going to do one more quick look to make sure that I didn't miss any spots of the base coat, because that would be annoying. I'm gonna have to check also and see what the heck this is. There's like a thing here and I can't quite make out what it's supposed to be. It might just be like another bag or something, so I'm gonna have to double check that. But it looks like I did get all of the little bits and bobs. Okay. I do think that the white's gonna look really good. I'm gonna also work on trying to fix this camera because I don't know why it's not quite autofocusing anywhere. So I'm gonna work on that. For next stream, I'm going to probably paint the rest of this white for sure. I mean, I might just finish her and then paint this guy next time, or I might start the Baneblade on stream. If you feel particular thoughts about what I should be painting next week, the Baneblade project is probably going to be like a long time. So if you're somebody who gets bored of stuff real easy, don't suggest Baneblade. The other options are I can build and paint a Stormcast Eternal on stream, or I can work more on my Night Haunt, or I can paint a Space Wolf version of this boy here. So if you have particular thoughts about what you want to see next week, let me know. You can either do that in the Patreon Discord, or you can shoot me a message on Instagram, or you could probably respond in the YouTube community tab. And just let me know. And if somebody comments something, then that's what we'll do next week. Because I probably am going to finish her. She's too cool to, like, not work on this week. Let me get caught up on the chat here real quick. Is that some sort of rodent that exclusively makes its burrow within live chickens? Nice, Kyle. Because chocolate is not sweet until you pour a buttload of sugar into it. I know. I actually 85% dark chocolate's like my favorite. Dipping chicken nuggets in milkshake. It's good. If you've not tried it, you gotta try it. Kent Stage is commenting and hitting like for the algorithm gods. Aw, Scary, you are a boss. Thank you. But no, I wouldn't dunk nuggies in a milkshake. Fries, though, that's a different story. Why? What's the difference? They're both deep fried. How is that any different? Baneblade, cause apocalypse. Okay, well, if anybody else wants to see me work on a Baneblade, comment it somewhere. Your hobby, your stream. Yeah, but, you know, I like to, you know, cater to the masses, you know? I appreciate you being here, so I want to do stuff you find interesting. So far, I've done more work on my captain today than I have in the last 6 months. I'm proud of you, because anytime that you put paint on a model, it's a good day. Other than the Necron army, I'm dead set on what would be a good faction to pick up or look into for 40k. Oh, there's so many options. Well, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on probably your playstyle, if you want to play, if you just want to build stuff. I mean, Necrons are a lot of armor, so maybe you could pick something like Genestealer Cult. I think in terms of hobby, Genestealer Cult would be amazing because they lend themselves to a lot of different colors. They have a lot of different textures on them. I'm biased. I think Genestealer Cult are some of my favorite models that I've ever painted, and I don't own any of them. I just paint them for my friend, and then he plays with them. But yeah, there's lots of options. Also, Genestealer Cult play different than, like, literally every other army, so that's something to consider. I'm working on Space Wolves, so it would be nice to see what yours look like. Okay. Do you know how a Baneblade compares size-wise with a Black Chariot? No idea. I don't know. I can't, I'm sorry. I do not have the answers. It's around 3 Black Chariots side by side long. Oh, there you go. Alright folks, well, I've stayed way past my time. We worked on this lady. She's probably half done actually. funny enough. So we worked on this lady. I'm gonna post pictures of her when she's done on Instagram and probably everywhere. You'll probably just see her everywhere. And yeah, thank you for sticking around and hanging out with me. I always love hearing what you all are up to, and it's just nice to have company while I paint. So I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna eat some lunch. I'm gonna take my dog for a walk, and then the rest of the day is mine. So thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, be nice and roll dice. Bye bye.